have we bought, Stephen?
Schneeballen.
Schneeballen. Rothenburg is famous for these, and you will find them in so many shops. There are shops that are dedicated to them. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say this is probably the prettiest place either of us have ever been to. I think that's fair, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
It really does live up to that reputation. I'm so happy. I'm so glad we came here.
Morning.
So we're back, we're in the van.
Aye.
It feels quite nice to, well, we're always filming in the van, but it feels nice to start a video again saying that we're going off exploring somewhere, because we've had obviously our little traumas with Daisy recently, but we're going on a bit of a long drive today, so we'll test if everything is okay and truly fixed. Hopefully it will be. We stayed, where have we been since we last saw you? So we've stayed on a little campsite. We needed a shower, didn't we? It's not really a campsite, it's more like a car park, but they've got facilities. In fact, it was a bit of a disaster because the shower was flooding everywhere. It was literally coming out of the bottom, but that's a whole other story. At least we did manage to shower though. It's very needed. Yeah, very much needed. And we're still somewhere in the Saxony region, and we're just kind of nestled into the hills, almost mountains. So very peaceful. I didn't sleep too well. I was awake for about 4 hours in the night, but other than that, it's all good.
So now all we got left to do is empty the waste tank, and then we're driving about 3 hours to where?
We're driving, so our plans are still a bit sketchy because Germany still had some quite awful weather and flooding, so we're very wary about where we want to go. But we're going into, I think it's in Bavaria, and now if you watch one of our previous videos in Portugal where we go to what was Portugal's prettiest town, we're kind of doing the equivalent here in Germany. So if you Google prettiest town in Germany, the place we're going to will often come up first. So we thought we'd be the judge of that ourselves. I won't say it because I haven't looked up how to pronounce it yet, so we'll save that for later.
It's called Prettiest Town in Germany.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's how you pronounce it.
We'll see you in that place. Evening, Steve. Evening. That sounds like it rhymes, but it doesn't.
Late afternoon.
Late afternoon. Is it?
Aye.
It's about 6 o'clock.
It's not quite evening, is it?
Isn't it?
I guess so, it's evening maybe.
Let us know in the comments if 6 o'clock is the evening or the afternoon.
Early evening.
Yeah, well, exactly, so it's evening.
Late afternoon, early evening.
I mean, it's evening. Yeah. It's early evening.
No, whatever.
We can debate this for the rest of the video. That's quite an easy video to put together then.
I can't be arsed with that.
No, me neither.
But no, we're here, bed's up, beer's out.
What a shock. What a surprise. How unusual. We never do that.
Yeah.
Well, we've arrived in our destination, and the place we're at is a town called Rothenburgobdertauber. I hope I'm saying that at least some way correctly. So there's a few towns called Rothenburg in Germany, but this is Rothenburgobdertauber. And when you Google, I said this earlier, prettiest towns in Germany, this one tends to jump straight to the top. So of course we've got to see for ourselves, haven't we?
I will judge that accordingly.
We will judge that accordingly, Stephen, definitely will.
Well, look out.
Yeah. We'll tell you more about this tomorrow. So we found a little park up. It's just a car park. It's free, which is great because we've had to pay out for quite a few repairs recently. So as much money as we can save before we get home would be ideal. Although, of course, we will still pay for places. But if we can get free spots, all the better. So this seems like a free spot we can stay in to explore what is meant to be one of the prettiest cities or towns in Germany.
We'll see.
We'll see about that.
We will see.
Anyway, with that, we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Cheers. Right, I know we said we'd see you tomorrow, and we will, mostly, but we've just nipped out and we've come out for a little beer, and this feels quite special, doesn't it? But quite very, very touristy, so you can imagine tomorrow it's going to be absolutely rammed with people because even in the main square this evening, there's already a lot of people out and about. So yeah, we're enjoying the peace for now, but we know we're going to probably come into chaos tomorrow. But anyway, we're in Rothenburg and we're having a beer, and this is very lovely, isn't it?
Aye.
How nice. So we'll show you around tomorrow.
Aye.
Let's enjoy our beers. I mean, if we have too many of these, we won't be showing anyone around anything.
I won't be having any because I'm too busy filming you, Dan.
Too busy filming. All right, well, you can press stop now. See you tomorrow. Do you know what? No matter how many times you've done it, is there anything more satisfying than a cup of tea to start the day? Nothing else compares, does it? Just one of life's simple, great pleasures that also contains caffeine, which is great. Just got to wait for this one to wake up now. Give it about 3 hours and we should be fine. I'll just wait here. So while we wait for Sleeping Beauty to wake up, I decided to come for a quick run and have a look around. And how gorgeous is this? The town is like on a hill above us, and obviously we'll go around that a bit later. And it's surrounded by countryside, all these beautiful buildings, a vineyard here of sorts. Absolutely wonderful. But it is very steep. Anyway, I better carry on running. Oh my God, he's alive.
Aye.
Did you enjoy your marathon sleep?
Not that long.
Well, it was pretty long.
No, it's necessary. Anyway, I'm ready now, are you?
Pretty much.
Well, let's go then.
Stephen's on the ice cream.
Aye.
What have you got?
A Malfi.
A what?
I think it's a Malfi.
Is that?
It's like a lemon chocolate chip type thing. It's nice.
Good?
€1.70.
That's not bad. That's quite a decent size as well. Oh my God, that is really good. I've never tried anything like that before, have you?
No.
It's like chocolatey, well like Stephen said, like lemony with chocolate in. Right, I'm just going to run off with Stephen's ice cream now. See you later.
Divorce grounds, that is. So that's grounds for divorce.
Might be worth it.
Give my ice cream back, you witch.
Say about tourist towns in the UK and Christmas shops, right? How many times now have we gone to a really touristy place and then there's a year-round Christmas shop? It always seems to happen, doesn't it?
Aye.
But this one takes it to another level. I think Germans kind of knock us for six when it comes to Christmas because they're really good at it, their markets, etc. But this town here, they've got Christmas shops, but they look a cut above, and there's also like a Christmas museum here, and then there's this van outside that's covered in Christmas presents, all decorated. I don't know if it just sits there year round. So yeah, that's quite something. Shall we go and have a look? As much as it sickens me to the core, shall we have a look at the Christmas shop in summer?
Alright then.
We've got to do it.
Come on then.
we just braved the big Christmas shop. What did you think of that, Stephen?
That was something else. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
No.
I was actually amazed. I'm not into Christmas or anything like that, but
Yeah.
the quality of some of those things that they had in there was just...
He literally
it was really
hates
nice
Christmas.
to look at. Yeah, I do.
He
That
hates
was
Christmas and he loved that. So that tells you everything you need to know about that
good. We
shop.
was in there for about 20 minutes walking around. It's gigantic.
Yeah, absolutely huge. And there's so many staff members as well. I was just kind of wondering, do they hate Christmas? If you've got to work in that all through the year, like how can you enjoy Christmas so much?
Right.
But oh my God, what a feast for the eyes. So good, so worth doing. And there's actually a museum in there. We didn't go into that because we weren't really bothered about the museum, but it's €5 each. So there's a whole museum, I think, that goes through German Christmas history and decorations, etc. But the shop itself is enough, trust me.
It makes me want to come here at Christmas
Yeah.
and see it.
See all the markets and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that was incredible. And it was just nice to get out the sun for a bit as well. It's like we're not complaining about the sun. It's just nice to get out of it and come back out again.
Alright. Now we don't know where we're going, so we're going to...
No, now we're going to continue wandering around this very gorgeous town.
I know, but we're just about to leave it, look.
Well...
That's one of the towers.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll turn around in a minute then.
Alright.
So now we've overindulged in Christmas in the middle of summer. What are we going to do now, Stephen?
We're going to get cake.
Get cake, because we've had so much sickly sweetness that we're just addicted to it now and we need to find more. This cake, actually, we'd never heard of it. It's not really a cake, but we'll tell you in a minute. It seems to be famous in this town. They sell it absolutely everywhere. There seems to be shops entirely dedicated to it. So we're going to get some and obviously try it.
I know, but first I think a beer.
A beer first.
Yeah.
Just some more
I need to
indulgence.
rehydrate.
It's a day of indulgence. Rehydrate?
Yeah. All this walking.
I got some water.
No, a beer.
It's not the same, is it? It doesn't hydrate in quite the same way as a beer. It's funny that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here's to Rothenburg, obdertauber, but we'll just call it Rothenburg. It's easier. So before we go back to the van for a little bit and then we're going to come out again, we stopped for our refreshments, our hydration, always essential. How gorgeous is all of this?
It's nice, it's nice.
All of the descriptive words that you can use to describe a place that are nice, this fits it. I sort of feel like, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say, this is probably the prettiest place either of us have ever been to. I think that's fair, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
It really does live up to that reputation. Normally you go in quite cynical and think, no, it's not going to be the prettiest or the nicest, but this is another level. I'm so happy. I'm so glad we came here. Cheers.
Cheers.
So we've come back to the van very briefly. What have we bought, Stephen?
Schneeballen.
Schneeballen, which translates to
Snowball.
snowball in English. But it's not the snowball that we might be thinking
No.
in any way. They just happen to be round. That's the only comparison I can see.
Aye. Shall I unwrap?
Go on then.
Shall I rip?
Yep. Show them the goods. Now, I'd just like to point out these are much bigger than they look on camera.
Yeah, they're quite large.
Now, I can't remember if we said earlier, but Rothenburg is famous for these, and you will find them in so many shops. There are shops that are dedicated to them, and lots of cafes and bakeries, they've got them in the window. So Schneeballen is kind of like I think it's like a fried short crust pastry kind of thing. And then they're usually covered in different flavours. The traditional one is just like sugar, I think. And then you've got different flavours. So we've got a pistachio one, and I don't even know what that is.
Crunch.
Well, wasn't it chocolate or something? But it doesn't look like it, does it?
No.
So we got a couple to try. Yeah, they're everywhere here. I'm not sure if they're any good, but we're about to find out.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Are they sticky?
Because it's warm.
It's about to get messy. Now, I'm not big on cakes personally, Stephen is more, but I am fully ready to be disappointed by these because the fact that they're just kind of like short crust pastry that's been fried makes me think it's going to be really like doughy and just kind of dry or something.
Let's see.
But you never know. We had to try it.
Oh my god.
We probably should have cut them in half, but we're just like digging in.
Biscuity.
Oh really? So quite crunchy then?
They're actually alright.
Okay.
I was expecting a horrible hard bit of dough.
We were fully expecting to buy something that we absolutely hated, which doesn't really explain why we bought it, other than we really wanted to try something that's well known here.
No, they're alright.
So Stephen's just tried the pistachio one. That went down a treat. We are now onto the one we're not even sure what it is.
That was better.
Before I tuck into this, I'd just like to explain very quickly that I'm kind of perched very awkwardly because if you've seen us putting up our bed before, there's a bit that you have to put down the middle and sometimes it's fallen out. So this isn't what it seems, like this lovely bed that you can just roll across and everything's fine. It isn't. The middle bit is precarious, so I don't ever like to touch it if I can help it, because it feels like it will just fall through. But you get used to what works and what doesn't, so this position is probably fine. Anyway, explanation over. Let's try this. What are they called? Schneeballen. Schneeballen. Oh my god. I feel like you should just pick it up and take a bite or something.
Feels too messy for that.
Does it? Okay.
Break a bit off with a fork.
It sounded like meringue. This is such an awkward way to eat. I don't know why. Alright. I'll try another bit. It is a bit too dry for me. It's one, but as Stephen said, it is like one big biscuit of sorts. And then you've got this like icing-y sugar flavoured thing on the outside. I can't get any pistachio from that personally.
Oh no.
I can't taste any pistachio. It's nice, but it's not really for me.
I would have gone full on chocolate had I known what that was like.
Yeah, let's try another one. This is taking a long time to chew and swallow.
I was about to say, don't talk with your mouth full.
I'm not fussed. I'd be happy if I never tried them again, but there's nothing specific. You have to like that sort of thing to like it.
No. They're alright though.
Will you finish them?
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, that is... It's a miss from me, but I guess it's unusual. I've never really tried anything like that, so I'm glad we tried it. You're more impressed than me.
I like the pistachio one.
Right, can we just say that for a second? You're actually more impressed than me.
I think impressed is a strong word.
Well, it is a strong word, but I'm unimpressed. Or nonplussed. No, wait, what does nonplussed mean again?
I don't know. Minus.
I always feel like nonplussed means unbothered, but I feel like it means something else, maybe confused. Oh, whatever, anyway. They were alright.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, with that, we're going to go back out and do a 2-mile walk.
Around the city walls.
Around the city walls.
Which we'll tell you about in a bit, because we've got some other little facts to talk about first.
Alright.
So facts come in. Facts about Rothenburg on the way, because you all asked for them.
Incoming nonsense.
Yeah. No, not nonsense, real stuff. So what have we learned about Rothenburgobdertauber? Well, there's a few little facts we've picked up, and one of them is that it's one of the best preserved medieval towns in Germany, and there's a couple of reasons for this. So during the 1600s, there was something called the 30 Years' War, and it devastated Germany. There was fighting everywhere. It was over religion, of course, and there was lots of death, and loads of people got involved, other countries, and what happened is somebody called Count Tilly invaded Rothenburg, and he was going to burn it to the ground and destroy everything like everything else that was going on at the time, but the mayor of the town was challenged In order to save everything, he was challenged to drink nearly 3.5 litres of wine in one go, like one entire sip from a tankard. And if he did that, then the town would be spared. So the mayor, who probably had done this before because, you know, maybe he knew that he was good at it or something, so drinking wine does have its benefits, I guess, he actually managed to drink the wine and the town was spared. So lots of buildings were saved. However, despite all of that, its fortunes still weren't great. So not long after that happened, a plague devastated the town, and the fortunes of Rothenburg kind of just fell by the wayside, and it became a bit forgotten, and it wasn't very prosperous for a long, long time. And it wasn't until I think the 1800s that painters started arriving, painting the town and its very, very pretty buildings, that its reputation built up again, and suddenly everybody wanted to come here and see it. Now, during World War II, it was heavily bombed. Allied forces bombed the town, and it's actually due to Rothenburg's beauty that was kind of saved from further destruction. So after the bombing, which actually took out some of the wall and some of the old buildings, Allied forces were kind of charged with actually coming in and finishing the job, basically. However, the person in charge at the time, I think they were called General John McCloy, I think I read, he recognised how attractive Rothenburg was and how precious some of these old buildings were, and he made a deal with the mayor. Now, the mayor was basically ordered to fight to the death, but he also was like, well, no, this town is too lovely, we can't destroy it. So they made a deal together. The mayor surrendered the town, and everything was saved. So it could have been a hell of a lot worse, but because it was so pretty and the people who were involved in that point in the war, sorry if I'm explaining this badly, it was saved. So in essence, due to very attractive buildings and alcoholic mayors, Rothenburg is still standing today for us all to enjoy. Cheers to that.
I can't run out of beer.
Oh, you run out of beer?
Yeah, it took too long.
Oh, damn. I think we need to open something now in celebration of this mayor that loved his wine. I think it's only right, don't you?
We'll have a bottle of wine.
We'll have a bottle of wine.
Drink it.
I think we need 3 each to match him.
Yeah, straight out of the bottle.
That's fine, yeah. I mean, see, the mayor did good with it. It's got to be a good thing.
Sounds like a lot, mate, to me.
It does, exactly. What's it? It's 3.5 litres. It's nothing.
It's breakfast.
Of course it is. We're not lushes or anything.
9.
And a couple of other little tidbits for you, because I love to bang on about things, obviously. Apparently, Rothenburg was actually the inspiration for Pinocchio. So the town inspired the town in Pinocchio. Now, I haven't seen that for a long time. Have you, Stephen?
Yeah.
So I can't remember much about that or the town that featured in it, but apparently Rothenburg was the inspiration for the town in Pinocchio, which very much tracks, because when you walk around, it does feel like you're on a Disney set. It really, really does. It's so colourful. It doesn't feel real in some ways. And one final little thing, I did kind of mention it earlier, there is a wall that goes around the entire outskirts of Rothenburg itself. So it was like a fortress of sorts. It was just meant to protect the town, as they did at the time. But so much of it remains intact, which is really, really rare. And there's all these kind of interlinking towers. And now, as far as I'm aware, that wall is open all the time and you can just freely wander on it at any point. So that's what we're going to go and do. Are you looking forward to it?
To a 2-mile walk.
I think
I am actually looking forward to it because it looks interesting.
It does look interesting. See, even he's not too bothered about
But
it.
this, instead of taking it like an hour to walk around, it would probably take 3 because Dan stops and films every second.
Well, of course,
everything.
we've got to show the people, you know? We have to show it off.
Aye.
So let's go and see the Wall of Rothenburg.
Aye.
Aye.
Let's go.
So halfway round the wall walk, it might have been more than halfway, we don't really know, we've lost track of distance here. We stopped in the little pub that we stopped at earlier because we knew that it was by one of the towers, wasn't it?
Aye.
So we had a little drink in there, and now we're carrying on. Now the wall itself that we've been walking on, and on those the wooden walkway, I don't think it goes round the entire town. I think there's bits where you have to walk elsewhere like we're doing now, because where we came down to the pub, it kind of just stopped and you just have to follow it. So as long as we follow the towers, one behind us, one in front of us right now, we should still be following the city walls.
This bit perhaps was destroyed, maybe.
Yeah, it's possible that this part was the part that was bombed, because there was a part that was bombed and destroyed. I don't know if they rebuilt it or not, but it might be this bit.
Who can say?
Who can say? Well, there's probably a notice board somewhere that says. But... And you know what? What? Despite what we were saying about we were dreading how busy it was going to be, it's not that bad. It hasn't been that bad at all. Even in the middle of the day, the peak of the day, I wouldn't say it's that bad. Now, other days, maybe weekends, school holidays or whatever, it might be different. But today for us, and bear in mind it's still summer and it's been lovely weather, you know what? It's been all right.
Whoosh.
This has felt enjoyable to walk around. There's still lots of people taking pictures and doing the same stuff as we're doing, but generally it's been all right. Not as overly crowded as some places we've been, but other days might be different, so, you know, don't base it on this. Where are we going?
I don't know.
I think we're going the wrong way.
Are we?
Yeah, I think so. Right, let's find our way back. We've lost the wall. Well, it appears we may have lost the wall that we were walking around. There is one there, but I don't think you can walk on that bit. So we're kind of walking out on the exterior of the wall, which might be the only way at this point. But one interesting thing, because right to the side of us, there's a really steep drop. And Rothenburg is on a hill, and I don't think you would have got that from this video, because when you're walking around the town, you don't really notice, do you, so much, that it's on a hill. But it's completely surrounded, in most directions anyway, by drops on either side that overlook the countryside, which is why it was a perfect place to have this wall. And I'm not sure what the original purpose, but obviously the original purpose of these walls was to look out and
keep the nasties out.
Keep the nasties out, yeah. And just a moment, Steve, to celebrate how bloody lovely it is to walk outside at about 9 o'clock in the evening on a summer's evening, still feel a little bit of warmth, still some light.
And not be eaten.
And not be eaten, yeah, I've never even noticed that, that's pretty good. And just all those things we moan about when we're in a van, like they're not present right now, because it's so rare to get this.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, and wait till all like the 11 months of winter that we get.
I know. And it's been awful with it.
Yeah, it has been awful, and so much rain, and I'm sure it will come again. Yeah. But right now, this has been a lovely escape, hasn't it? Right, let's find out where we're going. Morning. So we've woken up in our little car park. I can't remember if we've shown you this in this video or not, but basically we're in a tiny little car park. It's free, which is great, and there's quite a few vans here. They're kind of sort of parked either side of us, but it's only really suitable for short vans, isn't it, I would say?
It's a bit like a lay-by, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like a lay-by with car park spaces. Yeah, however, there are actually motorhomes that have managed to squeeze in here, so I guess it is possible. So that was very, very handy, and we had a couple of good nights there, didn't we? But just before we move on to some very boring things, I was about to say another town then, Rothenburg. What did you think?
I liked it.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was good. Was it prettier than Wernigerode?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
I'm afraid it actually was.
It was.
And the whole prettiest town in Germany, you know what? It definitely lives up to that name.
It does.
We can't say whether it is or isn't because we haven't seen every town in Germany, but I would say you wouldn't be disappointed by what it looks like, especially when you come on a sunny day and see it in its full glory as we did. The rain's starting today and it's really cloudy, so we got so lucky. I just feel so happy. Like the last couple of days I've felt so happy we've got to experience that. It feels like a real highlight of this trip.
No, I wasn't sure how anything was really going to beat Vanligeroder, but it did. It really did.
It definitely did.
Definitely worth coming and having a look.
Which is not to say that Vanligeroder isn't pretty. It's a different type of...
Vanligeroder's lovely.
Yeah, so the buildings actually look a bit different there. They're mostly sort of timber and all that kind of style, but here it's much more kind of storybook Disney-like looking. Yeah, just come here. If you get chance to come to Rothenburg,
Obdertauber,
then please do, because you won't regret it. It's wonderful.
No, and I definitely would love to come here at Christmas.
Yes.
And see it in all.
Just Germany full stop to see the markets, really. Exactly. Would be wonderful.
Anyway, we digress. We've got to get on. We've got to go and do some very boring things now.
Yeah, so we're going to we're on a bit of a mission. We need to do some washing. So we've got laundry backing up. We're not going to have clean knickers, which is no good, and all the rest. So we need to start doing all that, and we're trying to find somewhere. Doing the laundry is never much fun. It's always a bit of a mission in a van. But we'll maybe go into that in a minute if you're interested. Maybe not.
Probably not.
And we need some mobile data as well.
Yeah,
run out of
that.
So that's the next mission.
So we better crack on.
Yep.
So we'll see you doing boring laundry.
Yeah, we'll see you in the washer.
Aye.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. So this is the joys of doing washing on the road. There's lots of things about called Revolution laundries. Now, a lot of you will have heard of them, whether you're in a van or not. You see them in the UK, you see them all over Europe, and they're just kind of like little pop-up washing machines and dryers, and you see them in service stations most of the time. But so often they're so unreliable and they don't work. So we try and check reviews on Google to see if they're up to date, and quite often it's like the dryer's not working, it's nearly always the dryer, and it's happened to us before. So you know, doing laundry on the road, we don't mind using laundrettes, it's fine, but it definitely, when you're doing your washing and you live in a van, it's definitely the thing that makes you feel the most nomadic, I think. Don't you think, Stephen? Because it really hammers home the whole...
And showering in motorways.
Yeah, and showering, of course. But, like, it really hammers home the whole kind of driving somewhere to find something and then packing up your washing into shopping bags. Then you've got to find a place to park and then make sure it's within walking distance while you're dragging your heavy bags of shopping, washing about. Yeah, it's not a fun thing. It's quite boring, but whatever, it is what it is. Sometimes it can be a total nightmare. But hopefully we found somewhere. So we've driven into a place called Ulm, is it? Ulm. We're in Bavaria. That wasn't pleasant because you're sort of driving into a bigger town, and Stephen doesn't like that. It's not nice, especially when you're not familiar with the roads so much.
Aye.
But anyway, we've got our washing done. We then forgot our washing powder, so we walked some way there, had to come back, get the washing powder. Now we have to figure out if we've got enough coins, because they might not take card. Yeah, fun and games doing your washing when you live in a van, let's just say.
Aye, but I think, you know, in reality, a lot of people have to use laundrettes anyway,
yeah,
don't they, you know?
Afternoon. Are you in the video?
I am. I'm here.
If you're wondering, we did do our washing. All of that is now complete. We're actually now a couple of days later, and we just forgot to film the end result of that. So the conclusion to that massive cliffhanger is we did do the washing, which is great. So we won't have to do that for a couple of weeks. We've just spent the last couple of days on a free air somewhere in Bavaria. It's been really nice, hasn't it? So just a very basic car park, but completely free. Apart from the electricity, you just put some coins in for that every so often. And it's just a car park in a town. It's been really peaceful. There's been some running tracks, which has been nice, shops nearby, and a few little services like waste disposal and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a car park. It's just functionable, but it's been really nice, hasn't it? And it was free, so that's lovely. But I think we're going to call it a day there, aren't we? Yeah, we're going to leave it there. So please push your like button, your subscribe button, etc.,
your notification bell, all of that. And I just wanted to say, like, although subscriptions are important, like, please push the like button.
Yeah,
you know, it really helps the kind of the algorithm, I guess, show that actually people are watching and they like it. You know, don't push like if you don't push like, obviously. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah, you don't have to like it.
But yeah, like, subscribe, notification bell, and
Yep.
we'll see you next time.
Yep, thank you very much. Thank you for all your support. We are now we're going to the south of Germany, and we're going up, up, up. So we'll see how that pans out.
Aye.
And see if Daisy's all right with it.
Aye.
So mountains, here we come, kind of, ish.
Yeah, let's see. Anyway, we'll see you next week.
Yep, see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.